ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from seventh canto, first chapter, and there are two verses for discussion today morning, 28 and 29. कीटः पिशेषकृता रुद्धः कुद्यायां तम् अनुस्मरन् संरम्भ भय योगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम्। कीटपिशेषकृत रुद्ध कुद्यायां तम् अनुस्मरन् संरम्भ भय योगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम्। कीटपिशेषकृत रुद्ध कुद्यायां तम् अनुस्मरन् संरम्भ भय योगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम्। कीटपिशेषकृत रुद्ध कुद्यायां तम् अनुस्मरन् संरम्भ भय योगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम्। रुद्ध कुद्यायां तम् संरम्भ भय योगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम्। कीटपिशेषकृत रुद्धः कुद्यायां मम अनुस्मरन् संरम्भ भययोगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम्। माताजी। कीटपिशेषकृत रुद्धः कुद्यायां तम् अनुस्मरन् संरम्भ भययोगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम्। कीटपिशेषकृत रुद्धः कुद्यायां तम् अनुस्मरन् संरम्भ भययोगेन Vindate Tatsarupatam. There's another verse which is together here. Evam Krishne Bhagavati Maya Manuja Ishvare Vairena Puta Papmana Tammapur Anuchintaya. Word to word translation. Kitaha, the grass worm, Pishesh Krita, by a bee, Ruddaha, confined, Kudyayam, in a hole in a wall, Tam, that, bee, Anusmaran, thinking of, Samramba Bhaya Yogena, through intense fear and enmity, Vindate, attains, that, tat, of that bee, Swarupatam, the same form. Evam, thus, Krishne, in Krishna, Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead, Maya Manuje, who appeared by his own energy in his eternal human like form. Ishvare, the supreme, Verena, by enmity, Puta Papmanaha, those purified of sins, Tam, him, Apuha, attained, Anuchintaya, by thinking of. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. A grass form confined in a hole of a wall by a bee, always thinking of the bee in fear and enmity, and later becomes a bee simply because of such remembrance. Similarly, if the conditioned soul somehow or other think of Krishna, who is Satchid Ananda Vigraha, they will become free from their sins. Whether thinking of him as they worship a Lord or an enemy, because of constantly thinking of him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 4.10, the Lord says, Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupashritaha bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavamagataha. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus all attained transcendental love for me. There are two ways of constantly thinking of Krishna, as a devotee and as an enemy. A devotee, of course, by his knowledge and tapasya, becomes free from fear and anger and becomes a pure devotee. Similarly, an enemy, although thinking of Krishna inimically, thinks of him constantly and also becomes purified. This is confirmed elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, where Lord says, Apichet suduracharo bhajate mamananyabhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hisa. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he engages in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated. A devotee undoubtedly worships the Lord with rapt attention. Similarly, if an enemy, Suduracharaha, always thinks of Krishna, he also becomes a purified devotee. The example given here concerns the grass form that becomes bee like because of constantly thinking of the bee that forces it to enter a hole. By always thinking of the bee in fear, the grass form starts to become a bee. This is a practical example. Lord Krishna appears within this material world for two purposes. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, to protect the devotee and annihilate the demons. The sadhus and devotees certainly think of Lord always, but dushkritis, the demons like Kamsa and Shishupal, also think of Krishna in terms of killing him. By thinking of Krishna, both the demons and devotees attain liberation from the clutches of material Maya. This verse uses the word Maya Manuje. When Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears in his original spiritual potency, Sambhavami Atma Mayaya, he is not forced to accept a form made of material nature. Therefore, the Lord is addressed as Ishvara, the controller of Maya. He is not controlled by Maya. When a demon continuously thinks of Krishna because of enmity towards him, he is certainly freed from the sinful reactions of his life. To think of Krishna in any way in terms of his name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, or anything pertaining to him is beneficial for anyone. Shanvatam Sakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana. Thinking of Krishna, hearing the holy name of Krishna, or hearing the pastimes of Krishna will make one pure, and then he will become a devotee. Our Krishna consciousness movement is therefore trying to introduce this system of somehow or other letting everyone hear the holy name of Krishna and take Krishna's prasad. Thus, one will gradually become a devotee and his life will be successful. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुन्नङ्गायते गिरिं यत्कृपः तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् Hare Krishna. So we'd like to welcome all the devotees for today's morning Shrimad Bhagavatam class, where we are discussing from Canto 7, Chapter 1, which is entitled The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone. And we are discussing the two verses, 28 and 29. I'll read the translation again. A grass worm confined in a hole of a wall by a bee always thinks of the bee in fear and enmity, and later becomes a bee simply because of such remembrance. Similarly, if the conditioned souls somehow or other think of Krishna, who is Satchidananda Vigraha, they will become free from their sins. Whether thinking of him as their worshipper Lord or an enemy, because of constantly thinking of him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. So we are discussing from the seventh canto, chapter 1. So in this chapter, it's the beginning of this canto, seventh canto, and we see right at the beginning, just to make you aware why we have reached this verse here, which is talking about remembrance of Krishna and the example of uh, it's mentioned as a Pishesh Krita or a Kita. So Kita and Pishesh Krita. So Kita, grass form, Prabhupada translates. So at the beginning of this canto, there is a question by Parikshit Maharaj that it appears because in sixth canto there were a lot of episodes where the devtas and demons were at odds, and Lord was kind of helping the devtas to gain power or victory over the demons. So it appears that Lord is very partial. Why is Lord partial towards the devtas? So that's the query. So Parikshit Maharaj is not feeling that Lord is wrong by being partial, but that is a doubt which may arise in heart of some. So that is the nature of a devotee. He himself may not have doubt, but he wants to help others also. See, he's trying to, by asking this question, he's trying to negate or clarify this doubt for all time to come. So then there are a lot of verses where the purity of Lord is mentioned, how he is not affected by three modes, he's beyond three modes, he is spiritual in nature. So all those aspects are mentioned. And then Srila Shukdev Goswami says, similar question was asked by Yudhishthir Maharaj in Rajsuya Yagya to Narad Muni in the assembly of Rajsuya Yagya of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yudhishthir Maharaj was performing this Rajsuya Yagya where Krishna was also present, and then he asked these questions to Narad Muni. So there the question is little opposite question. So there in the Rajsuya Yagya, Krishna kills Shishupal, and in front of everyone's eyes, the the soul of or the Atma of Shishupal as a very effulgent light, it comes out of the body of Shishupal and enters into Krishna's spiritual body. So then Yudhishthir Maharaj is perturbed. How can somebody who is such a blasphemous, such an enemy, such a demon, he got such benefit by being killed by Krishna? How, what mercy it is. So how Krishna is showing such mercy to Shishupal and Dantavakra. So to answer that, then this series of verses are there to show that how Krishna is beyond bodily conception. And then tasmad vairanu nirvairena bhayena va snehat kamena va yunjat kathanchit nekshate prathak. So the same result, kathanchit nekshate prathak. So one achieves the same result for the Lord because of his blissful position is never affected by enmity or friendship. So that was mentioned. How? Because Lord is absolute, everything in touch with Lord has an absolute effect. That doesn't get, Lord is not affected. And then these verses, the example is given that one who constantly remembers Lord, he gets godly qualities. So the example is given of a kita. I don't know if you have observed, I have observed here in our farm. So there is this kita, which it's like Prabhupada says, there's a like a grass form or like a small green color, I don't know, maybe grass form, and then there's a Pisheshkrita, which Prabhupada is translating as a bee. It looks like a bee, but a different thing. It makes like a sand kind of nest, and it brings the green colored grass form, puts it inside, and then covers it with a. I have observed so many times in our ashram that it will make such kind of dens everywhere, and it will bring that green colored grass form, put it inside, and then close it very nicely with his mouth. And I don't know when he comes back, but the grass form is inside. He must be coming at some point. But that grass form is so affected by the fear that have been put inside, and because of that, as Radhesham Prabhu was mentioning, that it comes and stings every now and then. So it's waiting when the next time it will come and sting. So it's constantly in fear and in enmity, and therefore it becomes the same Pisheshkrita be either in this life or after dying in the next life as Pisheshkrita. So that is mentioned. So evam Krishne Bhagavati Maya Manuja Ishware Verena Puta Papmanas Tamapur Anuchintaya. So even in Vera, if one remembers, Puta Papmanas. Puta means to purify. Puta Papmana. So it purifies. Tam apur anuchintaya, by thinking of anuchintaya. And the next two verses in this section are also very important, very quoted verses. Kama dveshat bhayat snehad yatha bhakteshwara manaha avesha tad agham hitva bhavas tad gatim gataha. So simply by thinking of Krishna, either kama dveshat bhayat snehad, they have attained what? Tat agham hitva. They have been purified of their sins. And gatim gataha. They have achieved perfection. And the next verse also. Gopya kamat bhayat kamso desha chedadayo nipaha sambandhad vrishnaya snehad yuyam bhaktya vayam vibhu. So this is also showing the potency, shakti of bhakti. Gopya by kama, kamsa, bhaya, dvesha, chaityo, shishupal, and nipa, sambandha, these Vrishnis, snehad, etc. So by this method, yuyam bhakta vayam vibhu, they achieve perfection, they obtain the mercy of Lord. So this section of Srimad Bhagavatam beautifully highlights very nice point that Lord is absolute, and anything in connection with Lord gives absolute result in whatever form, in whatever way one connects with Krishna. Now, coming to this verse, so this is the background or the significance or the context of this verse. So, to explain how remember, Prabhupada says in the purport that to explain this principle that one remembers Krishna in whatever way, fear, out of envy, out of devotion, in whatever way one remembers Krishna, he gets perfection. So, Kita Pishesh Krita Ruddhaha Kudyayam Tam Anusmaran. So, he is doing Anusmaran Samramba Bhaya Yogena. So, he is Samramba Bhaya Yogena. He is connecting with that person or that bee because of Bhaye Vindeta Tat Sarupatam. He gets the same Sarupa. So whoever we remember constantly with eagerness, that kind of mentality or mood we get. So that is being mentioned. So what is highlighted here is in our life, how we fill our time and our consciousness is very important. We should fill our time and consciousness with right things. If we fill with wrong things, then that is awaiting us in future. If we fill with the right things, So for one who is not a devotee, for a common person, so at least fill your things with right things, pious things. So that will give you a better pious result. But for a devotee, especially, he should fill his time with Krishna, about hearing about Krishna's name, his pastimes, his Leela, his Roop. So, in that way, we have to fill our chitta, mind with that. Our senses, our eyes, our ears, our tongue, they should be filled with that constantly. Then we will have an opportunity to remember Krishna at the time of death, and then we'll have a similar position awaiting us in future. So that is being highlighted in this verse specifically. So we have to be careful what or how we fill our time with, our consciousness with. And this whole program which Prabhupada has created, where we have morning program, where we get up with an eagerness to see Lord's Mangalarti, where we with eagerness pray to Lord Narsingadev for protection, where with we eagerness pray to Tulsi Maharani to give us the mood of Vraja gopis. Then we chant the holy names to fill our heart with Krishna's name. Then we come up and glorify the Guru, Srila Prabhupada, for what we have received in life, show our gratitude. And in that way, we now take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam on daily basis. So this morning program, and then so that prepares our consciousness so that throughout the day we can also do contemplation of what the morning had was filled with. In the evening, again, we come back and then we again engage in reading, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and then sharing that message with others. So that way, our life becomes full of Krishna. So that is very important. So that is being mentioned. So there are two aspects in this verse which Prabhupada is highlighting in the purport. So one is uh, this word puta came, puta. uh, that one gets purified. Verena puta papmanas. And then maya manuja. So Prabhupada, this word puta, he is seeing where else the word puta comes. So he is quoting this verse from Bhagavad Gita. Vita raga bhaya krodha manmana mam upashrita bhavo jnana tapasa puta mad bhavam ashrita. So this is like acharyas or those. So whatever word comes, similar kind of discussion if it's mentioned in somewhere else in Shastra. So he quotes that. So Prabhupada is quoting that being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in past became purified by knowledge of me. So Prabhupada is saying two people constantly think of Krishna, the devotees and an enemy. So a devotee, of course, by his knowledge and tapasya becomes free from fear and anger. So knowledge and tapasya and becomes a pure devotee. Similarly, an enemy, although thinking of Krishna inimically, thinks of him constantly and also becomes purified. So Krishna is supremely pure, and anything in touch with Krishna is purified. So first, so I thought in this purport, if you see, we can attribute three aspects to Krishna or Krishna's name or Krishna's pastime. So the three aspects are three P's. So one is P for pure. Krishna is very pure. Second P is anyone who gets in touch with Krishna, he gets purified. And third is Krishna is very potent also. So these three P's can be understood. Krishna is very pure. Anything related to Krishna is very pure. He is absolute. Then anyone who gets in touch with Krishna, he gets purified. He has purifying potency. And then not just devotees, but even enemies can get purified. He's very potent. It's not just about any way you get in touch with Krishna, he is very potent. So he's very pure, he can purify, and he's very potent. So he has a lot of potency. So I was thinking how Krishna is very pure. or how the pastimes of Krishna are very pure. So then we, in the beginning of this chapter only, when Shukdev Goswami is talking, he says that how Krishna is, even though in this world, but he is not touched by gunas. He is very pure. He does not have a, in the verse 6, Shukdev Goswami says he does not have a material body to be subjected to attachment and hatred. Although the Lord is above material existence, through his spiritual potency, he appeared and acted like an human being. So, one who is pure, he is not affected. He is always pure. Whether he comes in this material world, he stays in spiritual world, he is always pure. Like the verse comes in Shrimad Bhagavatam, first canto, Etad Ishanam Ishasya Prakartirstho api tad gune na yujyate sadatmastir yata buddhistadashraya. Etad Ishanam Ishasya. That is the glory of Lord. Etad Ishanam Ishasya Prakartir apistad tadgune. Na yujyate. He doesn't get affected. Na yujyate sadatmastir. And the same result is for devotee. Yatha buddhis tad ashraya. Those who have taken his ashraya, they are also pure. They also don't get affected. So this is being told by Shaunakadi Rishi to, this is told by Sutta Goswami to Shaunakadi Rishi, that how this is in the first canto, 11th chapter, at the end when Krishna enters Dwarka and there are such emotional or such uh, love-filled or supposedly relationship between husband and wife. So the wives or the of Dwarka queens, so they are, so Krishna is acting like Prabhupada is an hen-packed husband. But then this verse says that he is not affected. He is just reciprocating with the love, the devotion of the queens of Dwarka. So Krishna is very pure. He is not affected. He is pure in all situations. My dear Parikshit, the seventh verse says, the material qualities Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun all belong to material world and do not even touch the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These three gunas cannot act by increasing or decreasing simultaneously. So how Krishna is very pure, again and again these verses are mentioning. Like I was remembering that pastime from Krishna Leela, that it said that Krishna is Naishtika Brahmachari and Durvas Muni only drinks Dhruva juice. Durvas Muni only drinks Dhruva grass juice. So then once the uh, gopis had to cross Yamuna and there was a great rain and then they were trying to cross and then they were not able to. So then Yamuna, they were asking way. Yamuna Devi was not giving way also. So then, and they were going to the other side to actually take a lot of, they were taking a lot of bhoga or a lot of eating uh, products for Durvas Muni, who was there on the other side to please him. So then when they were trying to cross, they were finding it difficult. So then they say, you should chant this mantra. Krishna is Naishtika Brahmachari. So they're saying, no, no. Krishna Naishtika Brahmachari, no, no. He always is playful in nature. He's playing with us. But then, no, no, you chant this and then Yamuna, they will give the way. So despite the fact that they were not so uh, agreeing with this proposal, but they chanted, Krishna is Naishtika Brahmachari, Krishna is Naishtika Brahmachari. And the Yamuna Devi parted and gave the way. So then they went to the other side and then they were serving this nice ingredients and nice food stuff to Durvas Muni. And then they finished their service. Now they had to return back. Again, the problem was there. So then they said that you should chant this mantra that Durvas Muni only eats Dhruva juice. Then say, "Arey, just now we fed him Chappan Bhog, and you are saying you should chant this mantra now." So they chanted, and again Yamuna parted way and gave way, and they could cross back and come. So that is the nature of Lord and his uh, devotees or those who are on spiritual path. So Krishna is never affected. He is supremely pure, And similarly, those who are connecting with Krishna, they are also not affected. Yatha buddhis tadashraya. So that is the nature of Krishna. Krishna is supremely pure. So something can be pure, but does it have the potency to purify others? Yes. So Krishna is not only pure, he can purify others also. In this world, some people may be very pure, but they don't have potency to purify others. But Krishna is not only the supremely pure, but he is purifying. Anything, any contact with him, any amount of contact with him can purify. So that is the nature of Krishna, that he is supremely purifying. So there are so many verses, like in morning, we chant that Om apavitra pavitro va sarvan avasthan gato piva yas maret pundari kaksham sabhaya bhayantara shuchihi. So whether you are clean or not clean, but if you remember, if you just remember Krishna, Pundari Kaksha, the lotus eyed one, Sabhaya Abhaya Antara Shuchi. So internally and externally one gets purified, Shuchihi. So that is the nature of Krishna. Just by remembering Krishna, one becomes purified. And things which are related to Krishna, one gets purified. So that's the nature of purification which happens. Another verse which comes in Srimad Bhagavatam is uh, Shoka Moha Bhayapaham. That how just by remembering, or those who have just any kind of material inclination, so if they just connect with Krishna, then Shoka, lamentation, Moha, illusion, Bhaya, the fear, Apaham, that is completely destroyed. So that is the nature of Krishna, that he can purify everyone and anyone. So that is also the theme in this verse, that thinking, although thinking of Krishna inimically, thinks of him constantly and also becomes purified. So that is the nature of Krishna, that he can purify. Like we see examples in Shrimad Bhagavatam, like Dhruv Maharaj. So he was Artharthi. He had a desire to gain a lot of wealth, a kingdom greater than his great grandfather, Brahmaji. But when he came in touch with Krishna through the medium of Guru Narad Muni and followed the instructions, akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So then he is saying that akama sarva kamo, whether you have no desires, whether you have all desires, moksha kama, whether you have desire for liberation, tivrena bhakti yogena, just do tivra bhakti. So while performing devotional service, be very tivra, very focused. Don't think of your goal or anything. Just be focused. Then what will be the result? Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. One will get purified. So the result of connecting with Krishna with intensity, with focus, is purification. So Dhruv Maharaj did it. He had so many desires that he want a kingdom. That's like, as I think Parsaka Bro was mentioning yesterday, that that is like he is thinking of the highest, unimaginable. That is his goal. And but after connecting with Krishna, after connecting through the process of devotional service, chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva, he says, "Oh, I don't want anything. I don't want. Please don't give me anything." But Lord says, "No, no, I'll give you. I'll give you," because otherwise people will say not to worship Krishna, because Krishna worship makes one free of all desires. I'll give you, but because of connecting with Krishna, you don't want it. So you'll not get entangled. So that is the purifying potency of Krishna. That Krishna can purify any amount of desire we have. That is being mentioned. And then, very interestingly, in this verse, Prabhupada quotes, I was surprised, Prabhupada quoted this verse for somebody who connects with Krishna as a enemy or a demon. So Prabhupada is quoting this verse, Api chet suduracharo, Bhajante mam ananya bhag. Sadhureva samantavya. Samyak vivasito hi sa. So Prabhupada is quoting this verse as we should consider any a sudurachari, not durachari, a sudurachari also. If he does my bhajan as ananya bhag, sadhureva samantavya. So Prabhupada is saying this ananya bhag, mam ananya bhag, if he is doing, he is like Kamsa or Shishupal Prabhupada is equating to. And he is Suduracharo because he is having such enmity, such bad character, such bad deeds. But Sadhu Reva Samantavya. He has to be considered Sadhu. Generally, we hear this verse in many contexts, like somebody who's a devotee and he may commit some mistake which is not pre planned but somehow commits, he has to be considered a sadhu. Or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, if you read his commentary, he says that Sudurachar is not something abominable or sinful act he commits. He just does not follow his prescribed uh, method of, as a devotee of hearing and chanting. So that's Sudurachara. So he doesn't even come down to that pedestal of somebody who does something sin. But Prabhupada is taking to another side only. Prabhupada is saying this bhajate mam ananya bhak, that is referring to a demon. And he's Suduracharo, he's a demon, but he is remembering in enmity constantly. So he is bhajate mam ananya bhak. That's ananya bhak bhajan. And sadhu reva samantavya. He will become sadhu. Samyak vivasito hisa. Undoubtedly, very quickly. So Prabhupada says, even similarly, if an enemy, Sudurachara is enemy, always thinks of Krishna, he also becomes a purified devotee. So in this world, generally, somebody may be very pure. Generally, he may also have potency to purify others. But can he purify anyone and everyone? Not really. He may not be able to purify anyone and everyone. Like, uh, you see these advertisements, na? That you buy this product or something, it will cleanse all the dirt. So whatever they may say, but there will be some microorganism, something which will always remain. They will not be able to purify each and everything. Something will remain. They will have tall claims that everything will be cleansed or purified, but not everything. Something will remain. But Krishna is so powerful that he is very potent also. He's very powerful and potent. That anything which comes in contact with Krishna becomes purified, it can be either in enmity or in the famous example is Aho Bakiyam Stanakalakutam Jigam Shaya Apyad Asadvi Lebe Gatim Dhatrimuchitam Tatanyam Kamva Dayalum Sharanam Rajema. Aho Bakiyam. Oh, see who has come. Baki has come. The sister of Baka. Utana is also called Baki. So they have three, Baka, Baki, and Agha. Brother sister trio. Very, very nice brother sister trio. So Aho Bakiyam Stana Kala Kutam. And she came with what? On her stana, on her breast, she has put Kala Kutavish. Stana Kala Kutam. Jigham Shaya Apya Apayayad Asadvi. And she is not coming with the intention of feeding Krishna, but she is coming with the intention of killing Krishna. Asadhvi. She is not Sadhavi. She is pretending something outside and she has some other inner motive. So she is not sadhu. Sadhu is what is inside is outside. What is outside is inside. But asadhu is what is inside is not outside and what is outside is not inside. So she is pretending that I am coming in a very beautiful form, motherly way, with affection to care for, nourish the child, but she wants to kill the child. So she is a sadhu, a sadhavi. But what did Krishna see? Oh, she came in the form of mother. Lebhe gatim dhatri. So just by touch of Krishna's lips to Putana, by the hands of Krishna to the body of Putana, she was purified. So Krishna not only drank her milk, Krishna not only drank her poison, but Krishna drank her life air also and purified her. So that is the effect of touch of Krishna. And what is the beauty of Krishna? That Krishna is not feeling, Are, she came as killer, she is such a sadhu. And if I give position of nurse in spiritual world, she will become, she may again try to do similar thing. How can you trust somebody who has been a sadhu? But no, that is the effect of purification which happens. How potent Krishna is. Whatever level of impurity that may be there, Krishna has the power to completely purify. Not even a single trace will remain. So that is the nature of Krishna. He can purify completely. He's very potent. He's very powerful. So Krishna is not only pure, he is not only purifying, but Krishna is very potent also, very powerful. He can cleanse anything and everything. You just have to get touch with Krishna. And therefore, Prabhupada concludes in the purport that Prabhupada says, somehow or other, what is this Krishna consciousness movement doing? We are giving everyone opportunity to hear the holy name of Krishna and take Krishna's prasad. So somehow or other, just somehow or other, they should chant the holy name of Krishna. Somehow or other, they should take Krishna prasad. Thus, one will gradually become a devotee and his life will be successful. So that is the Srila Prabhupada had such faith on this process that somehow or other, if they chant Hare Krishna, even jokingly, even mimicringly, even with negative attitude, oh, these Hare Krishna people, it will have an effect. Somehow they should chant. So, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there was an article in the newspaper which was uh, kind of blaspheming the whole Krishna Gaudiya Math or Krishna consciousness movement. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, please read the article for me. So that article person was saying, Krishna is like this, Krishna is like that, he is not God, Krishna is this. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, read how many times he spoke Krishna. This is a very nice article because people will read it and they will get an opportunity to chant Krishna name. So that is very purifying. Another pastime or another incident when Srila Prabhupada's times that movie came, Dam Maro Dam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. So Prabhupada said they will forget that aspect. But Krishna's name and Ram's name will remain because that is absolute. It's completely potent, purifying. So it will not be lost. The other things will get lost because of connection with Krishna. It has such purifying potency. So that is the nature of connecting with Krishna somehow or the other. So Krishna's name, Krishna is transcendental, and Krishna's name, pastimes, everything is transcendental. It's very purifying also. So that is the nature of Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada had such faith, such with that faith, he could actually create a revolution in the hearts of people. So ultimately, what we need is faith in words of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. If we have complete faith that Krishna is pure, Krishna is purifying, and Krishna is completely potent. So, whatever situation we may be in life, we can actually pray for Krishna's mercy. We can actually receive Krishna's mercy in our life. We'll understand that I am not competent, I am not pure, I am not purifying, I am not potent, but Krishna is. And therefore, Prabhupada says, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. Why? Impossible for me, but nothing is impossible for Krishna. Everything is possible for Krishna. So if we work in relation to Krishna, as a servant of Krishna, as a messenger of Krishna, then Krishna will work through us. Krishna will see that he is the right instrument for my potency to flow through. So Krishna's potency is very pure, is very potent, very purifying. So in that way, we can connect with Krishna. Hare Krishna. So in today's discussion, we saw these aspects of the context of this verse. Where is Krishna partial? So that is the question being asked by Parikshit Maharaj, who is quoting another incident where Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking similar thing to Narad Muni on from opposite side. Why is Krishna so impartial that he is giving somebody who doesn't deserve, like Shishupal also, uh, like a spiritual destination? And then how the example of grass worm thinking of the bee who is putting him in danger and getting same body is mentioned, and then the purifying potency and the purity of Krishna, the purifying potency of Krishna, and the potent or powerful nature of Krishna, his name, his pastimes we discussed through some different examples and some shlokas. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavind ki jai. Is there any? No. Prabhu has. Prabhu wants always to.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Gauranga Bihari Prabhu, for saying that Krishna is all pure. So then why all these offenses? If it is said that if you chant on the strength of the holy name, you commit sinful activities, and it is an offense. If you chant inattentively, it is like blank bullets. It will not be effective.
Hmm.
So how do we understand this? If you say irrespective of whatever it is so pure that he can purify anyone, everyone.
Yeah. So Krishna is pure, but we have to become pure recipient also. So sometimes there is sun rays. So sun rays are also in this world very pure. But if there's an obstacle to sun rays to enter, then it's not the problem of the sun rays. It's our problem that there's an obstacle. So if an obstacle is made, so we are saying to be inattentive while chanting. So what that inattentive while chanting is showing is that I am not having faith on the purifying potency of Krishna's name. I am feeling other things are more important than Krishna's name, which is most pure. If I have that faith that Krishna's name is most pure, so then I'll be striving to connect with Krishna's name fully. But I'm not. That shows that I don't have faith. I'm still having faith on some things of this world. Complete faith.
You don't have faith,
Complete faith.
but the power of holy name is there still.
Yes. So
So it should act.
therefore, we are still existing in this bhakti movement. The power is that we are able to still survive. So Krishna's mercy is there. Even if we are in this, uh, even in the material world, we are able to chant Hare Krishna, take Krishna Prasad, be in association of devotee. That is also Krishna's pure potency only, which is keeping us here. Otherwise, any moment we'll be gone. But the pure potency of Krishna is keeping us around. And if we do some aparad towards Vaishnava, so sin is like it's mentioned, like in those 10 offenses also, there's gradation. So some are very more like will have more effect. Some are okay. It will reduce the effect of the whole spiritual process. So blaspheming devotees or so those will have a more effect. So then we see the example of uh, Daksha. So Daksha also got direct darshan of the Lord. He got praise of Lord also, and he got service from Lord also. But still, it's mentioned he was not purified. Why? Because he had traces of Vaishnava Prat to Lord Shiva from his previous life. So therefore, he could not. if those traces of Vaishnava Prad are there, even Lord, even say he's so pure, he's so potent, why he could not purify Daksha? No, it's not that Lord cannot purify. It's because we are putting obstacle because of our behavior, our mentality, our consciousness, for that purity or consciousness to flow through us. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu,
Mataji will add to Prabhuji's.
I'm not adding. I just want to know that I'm especially talking like, people come here, they want to take shelter of Krishna. They feel this is a more pure, comparing to the even outside world, this is the purest way to protect ourselves. But we all get our own baggages with our own thought process. So many things are happening. But because of their thought or because of their behavior, they're contaminating the atmosphere over here.
Because of that,
Contaminating the atmosphere here, contaminating because of their thoughts or because of their behavior. But they also have a strong desire to be here and you know have faith that by chanting the holy name in association or devotee, they will improve. So my question is, when you observe such thing, how much compassion you show to them and how much you can, try to help them.
as I think Radheshambro was also mentioning in some of our discussions, we have to focus on our purity. So we should focus on being a good sadhaka, taking shelter of Krishna, and that compassion should be an outpour of that taking shelter of Krishna. So if compassion, actually it cannot be compassion unless we connect with Krishna ourselves properly. So unless we, so we should not think, oh, I will show compassion, how much I show compassion. More pure we are, more we are connected with Krishna, more we'll be having the strength and the eagerness to actually share that message with others. So rather than focusing on how much I should share with others, how much compassion I should do with others, our priority should be how much I should connect with Krishna.
Krishna.
And that opportunity to also share is actually more benefit for myself than for the other person, because I get an opportunity to remember Krishna, to glorify Krishna. So it's for my purification. Others, whatever benefit they'll get, that is secondary. So with that intention only we should see things. I have no potency to show compassion or purify others. Krishna Katha has. Krishna Kirtan has. So Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan I am doing for my purification, to stay connected with Krishna. And how it will help others, that is to their advantage or benefit, or how much they take shelter. That's a secondary result. With that mode, we can. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to Adikesha Pro and Prem Lila Mataji for
Thank you
always
for
making.
extending your class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.